So we're in Cannes, and we're talking about creativity, and there really is no better person to talk about creativity with than Nick Law. So Nick, welcome. Thank you.
It's great to be here.
And Nick was just on the Palais, talking, what, 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, well, half an hour ago.
Half an hour ago? So you're getting this. I mean, you needed a big ticket, and now we're getting it.
Wet.
So he's at Accenture now, Accenture Song, excuse me.
Yeah.
And so you have a long history of building teams around creativity, agency, brand, etc. We can't not talk about creativity in AI because it is so important. So just kind of quick kickoff question: overhyped, underhyped, right hype? What is creativity in AI?
Parts are underhyped. I don't think anything is overhyped. I mean, you know, the saying goes that in the short term you overestimate, in the long term you underestimate. I think the short term is, in terms of this technology, the same as long term because it's happening so quickly. So I would say that mostly people are underhyping it. Yeah.
Underhyping it. And the question is always about, is it going to replace stuff? Is it going to take over? What's the right team coming? Again, that's why I led with you this idea of building teams, because really you're a guy who's built teams around creativity for a very long time. Yeah. And now you're thinking about, what is the new team going to look like with technology in the middle? So what is the new team going to look like?
Well, first of all, I talk a lot to creatives and try to get them excited about using new technology. And I remind them that the thing that they call technology is the thing they haven't learned. That you can't actually be creative without technology because you need a medium, and medium is technology. So broadcast was a pretty amazing technology when it came along, and we had to change teams to take advantage of that. That's the Burnback team of art and copy came out of the rise of more visual mediums. And so, you know, prior to that, you had a copywriter coming up with ideas and then handing it off to an art director. And then you had this team come together where a conversation meant that the work was a synthesis of both of those things. Like neither of those people could make the final product, but they could only make it together. So it was this magic of this creative conversation. At RGA, we were very honest about the internet being our medium, and so we figured that this model that was built in the late 50s might need to be updated because all the creative is behind an interface now. So you have to think about design as a primary capability, digital design. So we call it stories and systems, and all of our teams were led by a teaming of great storytelling and great design, and the synthesis of that creative work that was dependent on itself. We're at a situation now where we're going from a world where humans would come up with an idea and get machines to then deliver it, and now we're in a conversation with machines. Yeah. And you can see the early work that's happening out of that using things like Midjourney and ChatGPT. It's pretty amazing, right? But it's still early days. And what we're seeing, it's interesting. If you look at generative AI images right now, they look a lot like what that community really values, which is sci-fi. A lot of really shiny, hyper, And because we're so astonished by the parlor trick of writing a prompt and getting an image, it's like when film came along. There was no editing. You just caught the moving image, projected it up on the wall, and people were like, that's amazing. There was no art to it. It was a technical feat. And we are at the point now where the early version of creativity in this is coming from technicians, not creatives. So we need to build a team that is representative of all the qualities that you think about in a creative. So for me, it's a three-headed team. It's a storyteller, it's a designer, because we're still dealing with interfaces and behaviors and messages and stories. And then you've got to add to that creative team a technologist. And why that's important is because all these large language models, it's a general purpose model out of which you can create different and specific applications. So you're going to need this sort of creative ability technically to use this big general purpose model and apply it to something different. So 3 people in a room and a robot is basically the new team. Yeah. And they're going to be different enough to create rich inputs, but have a common enough language to create beautiful outputs.
And I would think creatives, when they hear about this technology, there's fear and there's apprehension in the beginning, but really inspiration of like what's possible. Is that fair?
Well, I may also made the point on the stage that a big change for me, because I started work in the late 80s and early 90s, and a lot of my ideas were manual, And the journey from an idea to it being out in the world took a long time. And you had to hold that idea in your head and build it. And then Photoshop came along. And I went from doing one idea every week to being able to do 3 ideas in 4 days. The thing about this technology, it's instant. It's instant. So the discipline becomes being really focused on what you're trying to get, and then editing and curating and refining instead of building. Because there's no problem getting to a high resolution delivery, which used to be a technical problem. And so why creatives shouldn't be concerned and they should start to experiment with this, because unlike when I started to use Photoshop in the early 90s, I had to learn software.
Right.
And software is sort of counterintuitive if you have been using manual, and I had to learn it over time. You don't have to learn how to write English into a search. Right. And so the technical achievement to get the high resolution is there. So you better be thinking in a really inventive and audacious way, because if not, you're going to be part of the infinite average, which is going to be created out of generative AI.
So 2024, will there be an AI-driven creative category here in Cannes, or it'll just be creative?
You'll have to ask people who can. I mean, yeah, I would say that it might do the same thing, but a lot quicker than what happened to cyber. You remember at for a while there were the traditional mediums of TV and print and radio, and then this new thing called cyber, which was a catch-all for everything that was delivered on the internet.
Right.
And now we don't have that anymore. It's been divided up into subcategories. The same thing like with AI. There might be, but it'll quickly shift into just being an underlying creative technology.
It'll just be creative, right?
Exactly. Now I don't think about it.
Yeah, it'll be creative. It'll just be built in.
Yeah.
So kind of last question. What are we excited about? Like, okay, so people are getting excited. The technology, you got the team. What's going to be the thing that people are like, wow, AI did that?
Well, there's going to be a lot of stuff that AI does that we're impressed with, but I think over time we're going to be less and less impressed with what we're impressed with now, which is just the magic of something appearing and looking sort of high quality. And so the great stuff is going to have human, like it's going to, the humans are going to affect the machines for the great stuff. For the long tail of infinite content that's going to be average, we're going to start looking at stuff that's pretty well crafted and pretty good, but we'll know that it's average because there'll be so much of it. And so the people here picking up trophies, they need to use their genius combined with the technology and technologists to do great stuff. And that's where the value is going to be, because the middle is going to be infinite, so it's going to be for free.
Yeah.
So where's the value going to be?
Right.
It's going to be in human heart and mind. And,
Right.
Yeah.
I say it's a world of editors.
And taste. I made that point too. It's like we forget about great creative people who've got taste. And taste is, if you think about it, your own internal data set.
Right.
That you've built up over time.
Right.
So, humans have their own experiences that are synthesized into something.
That's
and
right.
taste is something that's really difficult to create artificially.
We still need to shape it. We're still ultimately going to need to shape it
absolutely.
to make the good to great.
For the good stuff.
Yeah, for the good stuff.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Nick, awesome.
No worries.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. That's the
Cheers.
news.